Finally, tonight, as promised, a special comment on the passage last week of Proposition 8 in California, which rescinded the right of same-sex couples to marry and tilted the balance on this issue from coast to coast. Some parameters as preface. This isn't about yelling, this isn't about politics, and this isn't really just about Prop 8. And I don't have a personal investment in this. I'm not gay. I have to strain to think of one member of my even very extended family who is. I don't have personal stories of close friends or colleagues fighting the prejudice that still pervades their lives. And yet, to me, this vote is horrible. Horrible because this isn't about yelling, this isn't about politics, this is about the human heart. And if that sounds corny, so be it. If you voted for this proposition, or support those who did, or the sentiment they expressed, I have some questions because truly I don't understand. What is this to you? Why does it matter to you? In a time of impermanence and fly-by-night relationships, these people over here want the same chance at permanence and happiness that is your option. They don't want to deny you yours. They don't want to take anything away from you. They want what you want, a chance to be a little less alone in the world. Only now you are saying to them, no, you can't have it on these terms. Maybe something similar, if they behave, if they don't cause too much trouble. You'll even give them all the same legal rights, even as you are taking away the legal right which they already had. A world around them still anchored in love and marriage, and you are saying no, you can't marry. What if someone else said you couldn't marry? I keep hearing this term redefining marriage. If this country had not redefined marriage, black people still wouldn't be able to marry white people. 16 states had laws on the books that made that illegal in 1967. 1967, the parents of the President-elect of the United States could not have married in nearly a third of the states of the country their son grew up to lead. But it's worse than that. If this country had not redefined marriage, some black people still wouldn't be able to marry other black people. It is one of the most overlooked and cruelest parts of our sad history of slavery. Marriages among slaves were not legally recognized. Since slaves were property, they could not be legally husband and wife or mother and child. Their marriage vows were different, not until death do you part, but until death or distance do you part. I'm sorry. Marriages among slaves were not legally recognized. You know, just like marriages today in California are not legally recognized if the people are gay. And uncountable in our history are the number of men and women who have been forced by society into marrying the opposite sex in sham marriages, or marriages of convenience, or just marriages of not knowing. Centuries of men and women who have lived their lives in shame and unhappiness, and who have, through a lie to themselves or others, broken countless other lives of spouses or children, or because we said a man could not marry another man, or a woman could not marry another woman. The sanctity of marriage. How many marriages like that have there been? And how on earth do they increase the sanctity of marriage rather than render that term meaningless? What is this to you? No one is asking you to embrace their expression of love. But don't you as human beings have to embrace that love? The world is barren enough. It is stacked against hope and against love, and against those very few and precious emotions that enable us, all of us, to go forward. Your marriage only stands a 50-50 chance of lasting, no matter how much you feel and how hard you work. And here are people overjoyed with just that prospect, and that work just for the hope of having that feeling. With so much meaningless division in the world, and people pitted against each other for no good reason, this is what your religion tells you to do? With your experience of life and this world and all its sadnesses, this is what your conscience tells you to do? With your knowledge that life with endless vigor seems to tilt the playing field on which we all live in favor of unhappiness and hate, this is what your heart tells you to do? You want to sanctify marriage? You want to honor your God and the universal love you believe He represents? Then spread happiness. This tiny, symbolic, semantic grain of happiness. Share it with all those who seek it. Put me anything from your religious leader or book of choice telling you to stand against this. And then tell me how you can believe both that statement and another one. Another one that reads only, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You are asked now, by your country, perhaps by your creator, to stand on one side or another, not on a question of politics, not on a question of religion, not on a question of gay or straight. You are asked now to stand on a question of love. All you need to do is stand and let the tiny ember of love meet its own fate. You don't have to help it, you don't have to applaud it, you don't have to fight for it. Just don't put it out. Just don't distinguish it. Because while it may at first look like that love is between two people you don't know and you don't understand, and maybe you don't even want to know, that love is in fact the ember of your love for your fellow person. Just because this is the only word we have, and the other background is stone. I have found myself, for the second time in 10 days, concluding by turning to the final plea of mercy by Clarence Davis in a murder trial. But what he said fits in what is at the heart of all this. I was reading last night of the aspirations of old Persian poet Umar Khayyam. This is what he told the judge. It appealed to me as the highest that I can vision. I wish it was in my heart. I wish it was in the hearts of all. So I be written in the book of love. I do not care about that book of. Erase my name or write it as you will. So I be written in the book of love. Good night and good luck.
Thank you very much, Dacian. As no doubt you have seen, Dacian likes to tackle difficult subjects, and he did it brilliantly tonight with a very good speech. Our next speaker is Corina Dea. She will have a speech called "Where Are We Coming From? What Are We? Where Are We Going?" She is at project number 1 from the Competent Communicator Manual.